You trust your thoughts. You trust your feelings. You trust your instincts. But what if your brain is quietly lying to you every single day? Not in an obvious way, in subtle ways that control who you fall for, who you trust, what you believe, and even how you see yourself. And once you start noticing these patterns, you won't be able to unsee them. Because the truth is, your brain doesn't care about what's accurate. It cares about what feels safe. And sometimes, those two things are completely different. In this video, you're going to uncover the hidden psychological patterns shaping your behavior without you realizing it. Not random facts you forget in 5 minutes, but insights you'll start seeing in real life, in conversations, in relationships, and even in your own thoughts. By the end, you'll understand why you get attached to certain people, why some people instantly stand out to you, and the one mental pattern that quietly controls most of your decisions. Let's start with something simple. Have you ever randomly thought about someone you haven't talked to in months, or even years? Out of nowhere, they just appear in your mind, and for a moment it feels meaningful, like there's a reason, like maybe they're thinking about you too. But what's actually happening is much simpler. Your brain is constantly scanning through memories, old conversations, emotions you once felt, moments that left an impression. And sometimes it connects things that aren't actually connected because your mind hates randomness. It feels uncomfortable not having an explanation. So instead, it creates one. It fills the gap with a story. They miss you. They're thinking about you. This means something, and you believe it. Not because it's true, but because it feels right. That's how powerful your brain is. It doesn't just process reality, it edits it. Now think about the last time you met someone new. Within minutes, you had a feeling about them. You either liked them or something didn't sit right. That decision didn't take hours. It didn't take days. It happened almost instantly because your brain is designed to make quick judgments. It reads tone, facial expressions, energy, confidence, and most importantly, how that person makes you feel in that moment. And here's the part most people don't realize. Once your brain makes a judgment, it doesn't try to question it. It tries to defend it. So if you like someone, everything they do feels interesting. Even their flaws feel charming. But if you don't like them, even small things start to annoy you. The way they talk, the way they move, the way they look at you. Same person, different experience. Because your brain already chose a side, and now it's just building a case to support it. But here's where it gets dangerous. Sometimes, the people you feel the strongest connection with are the worst for you. And deep down, you already know it. But you still feel pulled toward them. Have you ever noticed how the more someone ignores you, the more you think about them? The more unavailable they are. The more attractive they seem? That's not love. That's your brain reacting to uncertainty. When something is predictable, your mind relaxes. It feels safe. But when something is unclear, your brain switches into problem-solving mode. It wants answers. It wants closure. So it keeps replaying the situation over and over again. What did they mean? Why are they acting like this? Do they like me or not? And that constant loop creates emotional intensity, which feels like attraction, but it's not. It's tension. And your brain confuses that tension for something deeper. That's why people often chase what they can't have and lose interest when they finally get it. Because once the uncertainty disappears, so does the emotional high. And suddenly, what felt exciting feels ordinary, not because the person changed, but because your brain stopped chasing. Now let's turn that inward. Because your brain doesn't just misread other people, it misreads you. Most people think they see themselves clearly, but they don't. Your brain tends to focus on your flaws. It replays your mistakes. It reminds you of the times you failed, the times you felt embarrassed, the times things didn't go your way. But it rarely reminds you of your strengths, your progress, your wins. Why? Because your brain is built for survival, not confidence. It's constantly scanning for threats, things that could go wrong, ways you could be judged, situations you should avoid. So you end up believing a version of yourself that's far more negative than reality. Meanwhile, other people often see you completely differently. They notice things you overlook, qualities you've normalized, strengths you've ignored. And here's the twist. The way you see yourself directly affects how others see you. If you act unsure, people feel it. If you hesitate, people pick up on it. But if you carry yourself with certainty, even if you don't fully feel it yet, people respond to that too. Because your brain and everyone else's is constantly reading signals, not truth, signals. Confidence isn't just a personality trait. It's a signal your brain sends to others. When someone speaks clearly, makes eye contact, and moves with certainty, Your brain assumes they know what they're doing, even if they don't. And when someone hesitates, overthinks, or second-guesses themselves, your brain assumes the opposite, even if they're actually capable. That's how powerful perception is. And here's something most people never realize. You don't need to feel confident first. You can act confident first, and your brain will follow, because behavior shapes belief, not the other way around. The more you act a certain way, the more your brain starts to accept it as your identity. That's why small changes like posture, tone of voice, eye contact can completely change how people treat you. Not because you became someone else, but because you changed the signal. But the most powerful lie your brain tells you is about happiness. Your mind keeps telling you, I'll be happy when I achieve this goal, when I make more money, when I find the right person, when my life finally looks the way I imagined. But once you get there, something strange happens. The feeling doesn't last. It fades, sometimes faster than you expected. And then your brain moves the target again. It tells you there's something else you need, something more, and you start chasing again. This happens because your brain adapts. No matter how big the achievement is, it eventually becomes normal. And once it becomes normal, it stops feeling special. So you keep chasing the next thing, thinking that's where happiness is. But it never really arrives the way you imagined, because your brain isn't designed to let you stay satisfied for long. If it did, you'd stop moving, you'd stop striving. And from a survival perspective, that's dangerous. So your brain keeps you wanting, keeps you chasing, keeps you slightly dissatisfied, not to hurt you, but to keep you going. And this leads to the most important realization in this entire video. Your brain is not designed to make you happy. It's designed to keep you alive. That's it. Everything else, your overthinking, your anxiety, your attachment, your self-doubt, they're all side effects of that system. Once you understand this, something changes. You stop blindly trusting every thought. You start questioning your reactions. You begin to notice patterns instead of getting lost in them. And that's where real control begins. Not by controlling every thought, but by understanding where they come from. So the next time your mind tells you a story, pause. Don't react immediately. Just ask yourself one simple question. Is this actually true, or does it just feel true? Because that one question creates space. And in that space, you start seeing clearly. You stop reacting automatically. You start choosing your response. And that changes everything. And once you begin to see these patterns, you'll notice something else. Most people are still controlled by them. They react without thinking. They chase without understanding why. They believe every thought that crosses their mind. But a few people learn how to step back, to observe, to question, to understand. And when you reach that point, you don't just understand people better. You understand yourself on a completely different level. And that changes how you experience everything. How you think, how you feel, how you connect, and most importantly, how you live. If you found this video valuable, consider subscribing for more content that helps you understand the hidden patterns behind human behavior and your own mind. And if this video made you see something differently, that's exactly where real change begins. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.